statistics as them. And
Yep.
both teams led by a star attackman, Myers for the Buckeyes, Stoltrop for the Pioneers. Going to be a great one, Greg.
Here we go. And Ohio State not just breaking that record, but shattering it. Right now they're on pace to just absolutely outdo the record that has stood since 1966. So they get the ball off the opening draw. And here we go. And Ohio
Season in the second half.
And he's got the Buckeyes off to a good start here after it appeared that Denver might be able to get on the board first. Of course, with the kind of offensive power that Ohio State possesses, they can come back from just about any deficit. But they wanted to get some momentum going here on their home field, and they've accomplished that. Here's a ball on the ground, and two Denver players
just hounding,
ride them down. And now they continue to vie for that ball on the ground. And that makes it 2-0. And Ohio State wins the draw. And, of course, this is where having such an outstanding draw, man.
And he's already got 20 goals on the season, and he's got Simmons and Hannah as his partners in the front there. And those guys are just wizards moving the ball.
Yeah, they all got hat tricks in that loss to Yale.
Himself up for a one-on-one, as we saw just there.
So Ohio State up 3-1, and once again, they win control of the draw. Then they looks him off with a fake pass, and then a shot going right in. Inacio showing that he can do it on offense as well as winning the faceoffs.
Well, then, I mean, how do you stop that? How do you stop that? Just win the faceoff right away. I'll do the rest.
He's not a faceoff get-off guy. That was a tremendous look-off. Everybody went the other way, and then he just charged right down the middle and deposited in the goal.
And he's ready to go right back up to the 50-yard line and do it again.
And he may well, and Denver realizing that calls a timeout, breaking the action. 4-1, Ohio State leading Denver.
And they came in as one of the best goal scorers teams in the country and one of the best at faceoff. And that impact right away, just you see it perfectly.
Well, Denver, they knew they had to come up with a big effort on that draw, and they did. Not only did they win it, they come to the attack with a numerical advantage, and that shot is fired wide. He may well get that today.
I think he had a hat trick last week, and the week before that. Could be 3 straight games with a hat trick to get to 100, but I mean, not gonna jinx our boy Jackson Reed.
There's a shot and a goal. We've been commenting on how Colby Smith was really firing away. This time he strikes pay dirt. And Ohio 17 into the second quarter, and Ohio State is up 4.
Just textbook for Ohio State. You know they want to do that every time. Win the face-off, go right down.
Inacio almost dug it out, but they toppled him before he could recover the ground ball. And now Sparrow just recently sprung from the box.
They do it pretty quickly there. Curtis, another guy who just over 10 points, part of this team first mindset on Denver.
And snatched up. Denver again prevails on the draw.
Like that, it was 6-2, and now we got 6-4.
That's goal number 14, and then that momentum pendulum is in full operation right now, going back and forth. And Denver, they realized they had to really sharpen up on the face-offs, and they've won it again here.
Settle down Ohio State. I mean, we've talked enough about how it seems like Ohio State going on a run, then they get the face-offs, but you know, at one point it was like 4 or 5-0 Ohio State face-offs. Denver's all the way come back. It's 6-4 the advantage, the Buckeyes. And
I think if there was one thing that really to Ohio State, it looked like Ohio State was really starting to come on, and then Denver has come back to tie. This time Ohio State does win the draw, and they have the numbers. The pass is a nifty behind-the-back pass, but they're not in.
He gets it back here. Buckeyes finally settling down, Greg. They had a couple tough offensive possessions. Not only was Denver, as we said, controlling the middle of the field, winning face-offs, kind of how they led themselves back in the game, but Buckeyes had some rough offensive possessions too.
Yeah, there'll be a loose.
I have to see this face-off and how this face-off game, this midfield battle we've seen between these teams, how that plays out. That's clearly been the big factor, especially during that exciting second quarter. It's plays like that separate these rivalry games.
Well, that big key there was when that shot hit the post, Denver was able to dig in and get the ground ball to keep the possession alive. And there's a solid hit at midfield, but he was able to dish the ball off.
There. And Denver picking up the tempo here. Earlier they were trying to slow down and play Ohio State's tempo.
They have scored 6 of the last 7 goals, and they have really picked up their transition game. That's the 3rd time that they have really come out in a very quick break. That's his 3rd goal.
20th of the season there. First point of the year for Greg Langerman. He's a great defensive midi for the Buckeyes. And Rainey and
Silstrop, Sullivan, Hanna, and Simmons.
And Jimmy Freehill there. As Denver kind of struggling to get it over 50. Freehill makes a great move with his long pole and shows some great speed and sets up the offense, ending up with Simmons giving Denver the lead again.
Denver has surged into a 29-24 shots advantage. They have the edge in ground balls. Face-offs are even, and Ohio State really got off to a quick jump in all of them.
Going here is, as you said, they've been struggling here. That's their 3rd goal since being up 6-2.
And for once, Denver lost track of him. He was able to just step out from back of the cage, and there was nobody there to block his path. Inacio comes up with the ball again.
Myers really likes, he's been coming on strong. California native. Myers and Reed, the little 2-man game, and Sheen coming in with a great cut.
Put an R in the middle, be Ed Sheeran. But
probably wouldn't be very good at lacrosse there. Just a courageous drive there to get it up and put it in the one place that Johnson couldn't get it.
When you can control the ball in a sustained manner, you gradually break down the defense, you get that space you need, and then they win the face-off.
Colorado native.
And that makes it 12-10 Denver, and they win the draw again. Stathakis, and he scores the same thing. So they do the same thing earlier that Ohio State did. He won the draw, he came right down and scored.
So he's the new Fogo Go.
It is going to be a new position.
Both these guys, man, that gives Denver a 1 face-off advantage, 12-11 there. Inacio and Stathakis just been going at it today. They both got a goal.
Denver, they just appear to be unstoppable at the moment as they've now surged into a 3-goal lead. They have just continued to raise their...
Those TikTok sensations. He goes around campus interviewing students and everything. He's got quite the gig on the side of being a lacrosse player, and a pretty good one at it too.
Absolutely. He's got all credit Denver for coming back strong, and now Ohio State's going to have to keep that momentum going, provided by that late goal.
Denver's attackman and middies just moving the ball so well. Strillstrop 2 assists, Sullivan 2 assists, Curtis, Simmons have an assist.
Look at the battle for that face-off.
16th of the season for Knox, and another guy who's really stepped up, and he's transfer coming in from a small school. Great player. Buckeyes were excited to get him. Denver can win, and Denver can win this face-off. They can maybe wrap up the game here, even though there's 2 minutes. You hate to say it, just.
And their award.